Hey, good evening, everybody. Good evening, good evening. This is Julie Husbands of Authentic Her. Um, I am here this evening because it's a pop up. It's a pop up. Somebody say it's a pop up. Because I didn't get to go live yesterday for Authentic Her Friday, I figured I would jump on and do a pop up today. Listen, let me just give a little bit of information. I'm sorry. So, Authentic Her is another arm of Kingdom Citizens Network, which is probably what you see up here in the right hand corner or maybe on your left. This Kingdom Citizens Network is my hub, and out of that it has been birthed Kingdom Style Magazine, along with my now coaching community called Authentic Her, where we do all things clarity, talk all things clarity, identity, and wholeness always. So, since again, I did not get to jump on yesterday and do my Authentic Her Friday, I am here this evening is with a pop up. It's a pop up. So that means I'm not going to be here long this evening. Okay. Some people might be watching later or even now. It might be evening where you are. It's evening where I am. It might be afternoon somewhere else. So good evening and good afternoon wherever you're tuning in from. So let's jump into it. I hope you have your notebook and your pen and you're ready. Today we're talking. So if I'm looking over here, my notes are over here. I won't be looking over here all the time though. This evening, we're talking about how our language shapes our relationships, our standards, and expectations as single women. How our language shapes our relationships, our standards, and expectations as a single woman. So if you've been feeling stretched, frustrated, or questioning what God is doing in your single season, listen. This is the pop up for you. Again, have your notebook ready, and let's jump in. Okay, so with that being said, I have an acronym for you for STOP, STOP. It is Start Talking Only Possibilities. So you only want to speak possibilities, not what is in yesterday's book. Somebody, I don't know who the author of this statement is. Yesterday is in the tomb, but tomorrow is in the womb. Yesterday is in the tomb, but tomorrow is in the womb. That means you still have life, you still have things to do. So you don't have, as a single woman, you don't have time sitting at home waiting for somebody to ask you out, waiting for somebody to love you, waiting for somebody to like you, because they first got to like you in order to get to that next step, right? So that's not what we're here about. We're talking about how us as women, how we as women, sometimes some of us are prophesying, because every time you speak something, it's heard. Okay, so we're talking about STOP. It's an acronym that says Start Talking Only Possibilities, meaning speak what you want to see, not what pain taught you to expect. I see there are people if you could just drop in the comments and say hi to me, where you're from, where you're tuning in from, that would be awesome. I would really appreciate it. So we want to speak what we want to see, not what pain taught us to expect. So the S in STOP in the acronym says stop agreeing with lies. Stop agreeing with lies. That includes the lies that you tell yourself. That goes for the lies that the enemy might say if you're a believer. That goes for sometimes when we listen to other people. that are not speaking life, which leads me to parenthetically insert this. Stop listening to people that are bitter about heartbreak. Stop speaking to people that are bitter about heartbreak. The heartbreak could be yesterday or yesteryear. Stop listening to people that are bitter, because people that are bitter can't help you, because they're trying to maneuver through what happened still, and depending on how it went down, it probably hurt them deeply. So you don't want to be receiving, you shouldn't be receiving relationship advice from someone that's bitter. Okay? So stop agreeing with lies. Your mouth cannot prophesy. It cannot speak out scarcity and expect abundance. Your mouth cannot prophesy. It cannot speak out scarcity. You can't speak scarcity and expect abundance. I'll say it one more time for the people in the virtual back. Your mouth cannot, your mouth, not my mouth, your mouth cannot prophesy, aka speak out scarcity and expect abundance. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Okay? The other thing that I want you to stop saying that's under the word S. Hi, Tiandra. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're talking about STOP, the acronym for STOP. Stop talking old possibilities. So the first thing under S, the S for stop, is stop agreeing with lies. Okay? And we also want to stop speaking out scarcity and expecting abundance. The next thing under stop is that some women are saying, stop saying there are no good men left. There are no good men left. I am here to say that that is not true. If you are a believer and you are believing God for a mate, the God that created the universe, the one who flung the galaxies across the sky, the one that told the seas how far they could go, aka the oceans, how far they could go. That person that created all of that, that God that created all of that, is the same God that knows the type of person that you want in your life. There's no shortage in God. I'll say it again. There's no shortage in God. So if I know because of the things that are going on in the world, government shutdowns, and people are furloughed, and some people have been laid off completely. All the things, a plethora of things are going on. He is still the God of abundance. He is still the God of such and such. He knows what your such and such is. He knows what you need. So if we know that he's that God that created the universe, that created the earth, that created the world, how could he possibly be a God of shortage? So if he's not if he is not a God of shortage, and we are his daughters, we have to speak like he speaks. So we can't be saying there are no good men out there. So I want to also lean in and say this. Every man that you meet, hear me, hear my heart. Every man that you meet is not sent to prey on you. Prey. Every man that you meet is not sent to prey on you. Okay? This is why in our waiting, we need to walk through a process of healing. The third thing under S for stop is stop letting heartbreak disciple your language. Stop letting heartbreak give you language. That's self-explanatory. Stop speaking what God didn't say. Stop speaking what your heart is telling you because it's hurt. And the last thing under stop is speak what God promised, not what hurt produced. That's good. Speak what God promised, not what hurt produced. And I know that it's easy. I know that it is quite easy to um, rehearse something that we have experienced, but heartbreak that we have experienced, heartbreak that we didn't expect, ghosting that we didn't expect, and all these other things that occurred. But nothing that happens to you is a surprise to God. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. So if he's giving you a promise, speak the promise into existence. Speak it until it shows up. Speak until you see what you were speaking. Years ago, Dr. Dollar used to say, stand therefore until you see what you are standing there for. So stand and speak until you see what you have spoken. Okay? So I'll do a brief recap. Stop agreeing with lies. Stop speaking scarcity and stop speaking scarcity all the while expecting abundance. Stop speaking scarcity all the while expecting abundance. Stop speaking, there are no good men. Stop that. That's not true. It's a lie. That's disappointment talking. That's hurt talking. Okay? Stop letting heartbreak disciple or give you language, give you what to say. Start speaking what God promised, not what hurt produced. Hurt changes your mindset. Hurt changes how you see yourself. Hurt, messes with your worth if you're not paying attention. Okay? So those are the few things. I told you I won't be here long, but I will continue. We're working with the acronym STOP. Let's go to T. Tell the truth about your worth. Tell yourself about your worth. Tell yourself what God says about you. How he loves you, how he chose you. Like it says in 1 Peter 2:9, for ye are a chosen generation. See, I make that personal. Every time I speak that scripture, for I am a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people, that I will show forth the praises of him who have called me out of darkness into his marvelous light. So if we have a God that says we are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, why are we speaking less than to ourselves? Why are we doing that? And if you don't know why you're doing that, as a believer, you should be able to, you're well able to sit with the Holy Spirit, and he's going to point out to you why you're speaking to yourself that way, why you are downplaying your worth. Okay? Hi, Kelly Thomas. Thank you for tuning in. So under T for the acronym STOP, we're talking about tell the truth about your worth. Worth clarifies standards. When you know your worth, you won't settle. Somebody put that in the comments. When you know your worth, you won't settle. You won't settle for the okie doke. You won't settle for making decisions that you know are outside the alignment that God has placed you in. Worth clarifies standards. When your standards are clear, you know your standards, you know your worth, you're walking those things out day by day, then nobody can get you to do something you don't want to do or go someplace that you don't want to do. Or, I dare say, step into a relationship that you don't want to be in. Now, when your identity is secure, you stop speaking lack and you start expecting honor. Listen, when you honor you, you teach people how to honor you. When you honor yourself, when you respect yourself, when you hold true to those standards, when you hold true to your worth, you teach people how to treat you. And then you start expecting that because that's how you see you. But turn to your neighbor and say, you can't walk that out if you're unhealed. You can't walk that out if you don't know who you are. You can't walk that out if you don't know your worth. It's very important. So under T in the acronym STOP, we talked about telling the truth about your worth. Your worth clarifies your standards. When you know your worth, you won't settle. And lastly, when your identity is secure, you stop prophesying lack and start expecting honor. You start honoring yourself. In order for somebody to honor you, you must honor you. You got to honor you. Hold fast, hold true to the standards that you have. Okay, we're almost done. We're at the O in STOP. Overrule negative narratives with wisdom. Overrule negative narratives, can't talk, with wisdom. So number one, what's that mean? Your last experience does not define what your future can be or will be. Your last dating experience, your last relationship experience, your last situationship experience. I've been there. Okay? Everybody knows me well and knows about my situationship. Well, excuse me, it's no longer mine. The situationship I was in 12 plus years ago. Right? If, by the way, shameless plug, if you want to know that entire story of my of the situationship, go on over to Amazon. The book is called, what is my book called? I should know what my book is called. Lord have mercy. Dating with a Twist. I apologize. Dating with a Twist. Amazon.com. It's over there for $15 or $15.99. Grab it, and it's in there. The entire testimony. Okay? Overrule negative narratives with wisdom. Your last experience, say it with your whole chest. Your last experience is not your future. So personalize it. My last experience is not my future. It doesn't determine your future. Number two, your friend's heartbreak is not your prophecy. So if you have a friend that you're walking with, and when I say walking with, some of us have friends that we're doing life with or have done life with so far that we genuinely love and they love us. And if for some reason they are in a relationship that does not work out or doesn't end well, that doesn't mean that you need to take that on. You don't need to start speaking what has occurred in her relationship because you're not the one dating that guy. And who told you that you're going to date a guy just like that? Right? So we have to make sure that we're not taking on somebody else's stuff and then we start speaking what they're speaking. Okay? Your friend's heartbreak is not your prophecy. Don't prophesy. Don't speak out somebody else's heartbreak over your own life. That's not your standard. You're not called to that. Number 3, trauma is loud. Trauma is loud. It can be loud, but wisdom is louder. Put that in the comments for me, Kelly, if you're still there. Trauma is loud, but wisdom is louder. Not everybody experiences trauma. Not everybody, but some people have. I have, right? And in the middle of this of that trauma, in the middle of walking it out, like afterwards, your healing process, you have to let God touch the wounds. You have to let God get at that thing, at that heart, that mindset, so he can do a reset. So that you can walk through life, not just a different person, but you can walk through life in your healing process, or even as you get to the end of your healing process and you're whole, God has done a work. God has done a work. It's not just about the process, but it's about what you do afterwards. When you let God do it. When you let God, when you do walk out that healing process from trauma, God's way. And sometimes you might need therapy. Hi, Keisha Jackson. Thank you for joining. Sometimes you might need therapy. Listen, Jesus and therapy go together. Somebody say it. Put it in the comments. Jesus and the therapist go together. We need both. Okay? That's why when God created science and added doctors, he made sure that there were therapists in place. So trauma doesn't have to lead your life. If you surrender it to the Lord, he can help you walk through that thing if you give it to him. If you give it to him, if you try to do it on your own, if you try to walk out your healing process on your own, it's going to take longer and it's going to be difficult. It's already difficult because you have to replay in order to let go and then move forward. But I promise you, by the time God is done, by the time God is finished and you are walking in your healing, he would have taught you how to love again like you've never been hurt. I dare say it. To love like you've never been hurt. Isn't that something? He's such a good God. The last one under O, for the acronym STOP, we're at O, the last one. Overrule cultural narratives with discernment, healing, and identity. Overrule cultural narratives with discernment, healing, and identity. There's some things that you can take away from the cultural norms, but I say start with God. Please start with God. Why? Because he has all the intel. He knows everything. When life's in our world, it's not new to God. It's new to us. And his hand is not short that he cannot save. However, you don't want to walk away from God's way of healing just because culture says do it this way. God's way will always be better. No matter what it looks like on social media, no matter what it looks like on Instagram and everywhere else, God's way will always be better. He knows your innermost being. He knows your thoughts. He knows those thoughts that you say and you don't open your mouth. He hears those. Ask me how I know. He hears those. So overrule the cultural norms, the cultural narratives with discernment, healing, and identity. Know who you belong to. Know where your identity, in whom your identity lies in. It doesn't lie in culture. It's in God. Okay, we're almost finished. We're at P in the acronym STOP. Prepare for what you pray for. Oh my goodness. Prepare for what you pray for. Let me put I'm sorry. I can see that my battery is getting low. I apologize. Prepare for what you pray for. Prepare for what you pray for. You cannot pray for a healthy, mature, faithful man while declaring scarcity with your words. Cannot pray and ask God for a husband, and you're speaking negative that all men are dogs and all men are narcissists and blah, blah, blah. All men are not dogs. All men are not out here in the dating world or the dating pool to harm you, or like I said earlier, to prey on you, Prey. All men are not out there doing that. They are faithful men. They are godly, sold out men. They're men that are disciplined in their flesh. And those type of men that are disciplined in their flesh, guess what they're going to do? Because they are disciplined in their flesh, they will protect your purity as well. Because they're protecting theirs. Now, please do not rely on a man, even the godly man, disciplined man. Don't rely on the Lord to help you through, but do not rely on a man to help you discipline your flesh. That's your responsibility. That's every individual's responsibility. Okay? You protect your purity, not just purity of body, purity of mind. Okay? And you stay disciplined in that. That is your responsibility. Just like the gentleman has his, a disciplined man has chosen, because it's a choice. It's a choice to discipline your flesh. Okay? So you can't pray for a healthy, mature, faithful man while declaring scarcity, declaring that all men are dogs. All men are this and that. This one's a narcissist. This one is this. Speak, prepare for what you are praying for. It's the same thing with for us as singles in business. If you want abundance in your business and you're praying, then God is going to give you specific instructions that guide you toward that. And yeah, it's not going to happen overnight, but you have to do it His way. Remember, we are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation. He said that about us. So if that's us, then we have to navigate like we know that and believe that and understand that. Okay? Hi, Melba Tate. Good to see you. Number 2, preparation must match expectation. So prepare. Now, if you are, I want to talk about this real quick because I won't say nobody's talking about this, but in some of the conversations that I have with single women and even in the single community that I have, sometimes we talk about this right here, where up here in our minds, a lot of women are talking about or thinking about marriage, but nobody talks about friendship. And I say that loosely, too loosely. It's not nobody. Some people, excuse me, some people aren't talking about friendship, because before there's marriage, a friendship should be built. Before there's marriage, a friendship should be built. Why? Because the friendship, on the days when you're married, on the days when you're looking at him and he's looking at you, and y'all in feeling each other right then, it's the friendship, is that foundation that holds the whole thing together. Friendship matters, y'all. Friendship matters. Come on, Keisha, tell the people. Absolutely. Keisha's married, so she knows, right? The friendship, the friendship is going to help you to apologize when you're wrong. The friendship is going to help you to not walk away from something that you and your husband are building because you're mad at him, or because you didn't communicate an expectation. You had an expectation over here, but you didn't communicate it to him, or vice versa. And now you're mad because that thing didn't get done, but you didn't communicate. So you got to prepare. You got to prepare, and your preparation have to match expectation. But expectation must be communicated, because you cannot expect somebody to come and pick you up from the mall and you didn't ask them to come and pick you up from the mall at 4 p.m. You will be standing at the mall and the mall is going to be closed and no one will be there to come pick you up because you didn't communicate. So that's how it is in relationships. We cannot have expectations that are uncommunicated. And lastly, women who prepare attract what they believe, not what they fear. Women who prepare attract what they believe, not what they fear. So take a couple of seconds and think about this. What are you believing for? Because I dare say that I know that everyone here, I know that everybody is not believing for a husband. There are other things. There are other things that us single women and even married women are believing God for. So that thing that you're believing God for, if it's a relationship, what are you willing to change? This is your takeaway question to ponder upon when you get off, or to think about before you go to bed tonight. What are you willing to do? What are you willing to change to prepare for the thing or the person you asked God for? The preparation has to match. It has to match what you're believing for. Now, when you ask God, don't get me wrong though, because when you ask God for something, he multiplies. He's a multiplier. So are you ready? That's good, Lord. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Are you ready for the multiplication? Are you ready for the multiplication? Because if you're not ready, that means you didn't prepare. Every morning I wake up, I say, be ready. Don't get ready. Be ready. Because if you're ready, you can move. If you got to get ready, it's a delay. Okay? So the acronym for STOP is Start Talking Only Possibilities. And I know that should be speaking, but I needed a T to go right there. I needed a word for the T. Okay? Start talking only possibilities. Speak life. At my church, Thankful Baptist Church, if you're looking for a church home, We're right at 1608 West Allegheny Avenue in North Philadelphia. Okay? Between 16th and 17th and Allegheny Avenue. Yes, I said it. Okay? But there, our pastor, we have has this thing that we speak after he ministers. And one of the things that we say is speak life. Be encouraged, walk in excellence, and speak life. That's the slogan. Be encouraged, walk in excellence, and speak life. Yes. Yes, Keisha, speak those possibilities daily. Speak them daily. Everybody that's on, start talking only possibilities. Start speaking only possibilities, regardless of what it looks like on the job, regardless of what it looks like in ministry, regardless of what it looks like in your friendships, regardless of what culture is saying. What is God saying? What is he saying to you? How does he want you to move? Where does he want you to go? How does he want you to do the assignment that he has given you? Ask him to prepare you. Ask him to help you prepare. Yes. Be encouraged, walk in excellence, and speak life. That's it. Speak life. Yesterday is in the tomb. Tomorrow is in the womb. Tomorrow has yet. There's always going to be a tomorrow. As soon as night comes, tomorrow's coming. 12 a.m. is tomorrow. So we have opportunities. God has given us, as long as we are in the earth and we are breathing, we are above ground, we can speak possibilities. We can speak life. So that's it for tonight. I told y'all I wasn't going to be here long, but I wanted to make sure that I came on and I talked about stop. Start talking only possibilities. God is bigger than the shutdown. He is going to provide. He is not going to leave his people hanging. He's not going to do it. He is bigger than being furloughed. He is bigger than being laid off. He's bigger than what we see. And everything we see is subject to change as long as we speak to it. Speak the word. I'll leave you with this. Speak the word over your life. Speak the word over your possibilities. Speak the word over your dreams. Speak the word over your relationships. Yes. Speak the word over your relationships. Okay. So that is all for tonight. This live is also streamed to YouTube. So if you came on late and you weren't here from the beginning, you can go on over to YouTube. Just put my name in, Julie Husbands, and you might have to scroll a bit, but you'll find me and it'll be there. It's streaming directly over there. Okay. Also, I have some things that are going to be coming out in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So stay tuned to my page. And hey, you guys, can you do me a favor? Can you please go over to YouTube and subscribe to my channel? Please, I will really appreciate it. Go over to my channel and subscribe. I really appreciate you all tuning in for this pop-up called Start Talking Your Possibilities. Speak life over your possibilities. Okay. So as you lay down tonight, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't. Oh, that is so sweet, Keisha. What is it? $ Julie Husbands, capital J, capital H. $ Julie Husbands, like husbands and wives. Okay, thank you. That's very sweet of you. Thank you so much. God is faithful and kind. And I want you all to know that nothing escapes him. He sees everything. I've been posting, he sees, he knows, he hears, he understands, and he loves. We're not forgotten. We're not pushed to the side, no matter what's happening in the government, no matter what's happening in the world. Be aware, but don't be consumed. Don't let it stress you out. Continue to speak life. Continue to speak the word over your life, over your business, over your relationships, over your friendships, over your church, over everything that you have your hands attached to. Speak life over it. Okay? I love you guys oh so much. Thank you. Again, run over to, when you get a moment, go on over to YouTube, please, and subscribe to my channel. Help me bring the numbers up over there and the subscribers. And also, I do have that book called Dating with a Twist. My full testimony is in there. I co-wrote it with Pastor Vera Pastor Vera Robinson now. She is a very, very dear sister of mine. And we have been rocking out this single thing a long time together. We have done a lot of life together. So you can find that book on Amazon.com. My entire testimony is on there. God is good. So be encouraged, walk in excellence, and speak life. Okay? I love you guys. Have a great evening. Oh, and thank you for tuning in.